The water hits your ankles before you even hear it. Not a drip, not a leak, a cold, black surge pushing up through the floorboards, bringing mud, sewage, and the smell of ruined foundations. Your emergency kit is in the garage. The raft is in the attic. But you are in the living room, and the only things you can reach in the next 10 seconds are two tools that mean the difference between drowning in your own home and escaping through the roof. Most people grab the family photo albums. The survival realist grabs a saw and a bucket. Flooding doesn't kill by drowning alone. It kills by trapping. Water pressure prevents doors from opening outward. Furniture becomes dislodged blockages. The beautiful plaster ceiling above your head is now the only exit. And it's not a door. The system tells you to head for high ground. It forgets that the high ground in your home is sealed behind a roof deck. You need to cut your way out. Tool 1. A reciprocating saw. A demo blade. A sawzall. You think power tools and water don't mix, and you are right. Pull the cordless one hanging on the garage wall only if you can grab it, before the water finds the charger. In a flood, your battery-powered reciprocating saw with a demolition blade is a surgical key to your own roof. But water rises faster than you think, so the corded one stays on the shelf. If you live in a flood zone, your primary is a manual wood saw. A 24-inch crosscut panel saw with aggressive teeth. It costs $12 at any hardware store. It never runs out of battery. It cuts through shingles, plywood, sheathing, and nails with the same slow, unstoppable force. You climb into the attic with that saw in your teeth, or you hoist it up with a rope, and you take out a 4-foot section of roof decking. You carve a square hole to the sky. The blade rips through asphalt shingles, like wet cardboard. It will bind. It will take forever. But forever is longer than the time it takes to drown. Most people will crouch in the attic and pound on the underside of the roof with their fists, hoping a rescue boat sees them. You will cut your own skylight out of the chaos, and you will climb onto the ridge while the water swallows the ceiling beneath you. The saw is not a tool. It is a vertical evacuation device that requires no pump, no engine, and no permission. Tool 2. A 5-gallon bucket. The heavy-duty, plastic, Home Depot kind. It's not a flotation device. Not for you. A 5-gallon bucket filled with water weighs over 40 pounds, and it floats poorly. But a 5-gallon bucket, sealed with a sturdy lid, is a waterproof, buoyant, highly visible container for the things that absolutely cannot get wet. More importantly, it is a bailer. When the flood first breaches the door, the water arriving is only ankle deep and full of debris. You have minutes before it reaches knee height, and the currents become lethal. A 5-gallon bucket scoops and heaves over 40 gallons a minute with 2 hands. You won't stop the water. You can't, but you can lower the level for 5 crucial minutes while you cut a hole in the ceiling, boost a family member into the attic, or retrieve a survival cache. The bucket is also a signaling device. Bright orange Home Depot plastic catches a helicopter spotlight. It floats gear. It catches rainwater if you are stranded on a roof. It becomes a makeshift toilet when the plumbing is underwater. Most people don't even know where their bucket is. It's buried under old rags in the shed. You will stage an empty 5-gallon bucket on a high shelf in every bedroom closet, with a lid and a 60-foot rope coiled inside. In a flood, that bucket is an elevator for your child, a bailing engine for your hallway, and a floating vault for your radio. The humble bucket is the most overlooked flood tool on the planet. Here is the reality that the water will try to drown with you. Flooding doesn't just destroy your house. It takes your exits, your power, and your sense of direction. The saw cuts through the roof. The bucket buys you the time to swing it. These two tools are not high-tech. They are not expensive. They sit in the shadows of your garage and your closet, humming with potential that only a survivor sees. When the water is rising and the doors are jammed, the person holding the saw doesn't panic. They cut. The person holding the bucket doesn't drown in those first 5 minutes. They bail. Survival rewards the tool that fits the hand and the physics of the disaster. Leave the inflatable raft to the preppers with $100. You will spend 12 on a saw and 3 on a bucket, and you will own 2 exits instead of 1. Now, drop a comment and tell me this. Walk to your utility closet. Do you own a saw that could cut through a roof in the dark while your hands are wet? If you don't, write buying one tomorrow in the comments. And in the next video, we are staying in the water. The 3 knots that hold a rescue line when your fingers are frozen and the current is pulling you under. I'll see you there.